Our first stop is the area north of the Vehicle Assembly Building that is home of the 3 Orbiter Processing Facilities, or OPFs. The OPFs house the 3 orbiters that comprise NASA's Space Shuttle fleet. In OPF Bay 1 is Atlantis, the middle child of the orbiter team. Flying since 1985, she has completed more than 30 missions and has been an icon of international cooperation in space. OPF Bay 2 is home to Space Shuttle Endeavour, the youngest orbiter in the fleet. Taking her first flight in 1992, Endeavour has more than 20 missions to her credit and has played key roles in the assembly of the International Space Station. Finally, in OPF Bay 3 is NASA's flagship Discovery. As the oldest orbiter in NASA's post-Columbia fleet, Discovery has led the orbiter team in their work in space and has the most missions of any orbiter under her belt. The OPF is where the orbiters begin their journey down the road to launch. Here they are configured for their unique missions and prepared for flight. Within approximately 2 months of their scheduled launch date, the orbiter next in line for flight will be rolled from her space-age hangar to the Vehicle Assembly Building, where the solid rocket boosters and external tank have been ready and waiting for some time. As the orbiter begins to move atop the 76-wheel Orbiter Transportation System, or OTS, the media gathers in a designated area for photography and video documentation of the vehicle. A small lot just east of the OPFs provide a spectacular vantage point for photos and filming of the orbiter as she rolls the short distance from her hangar to the VAB. As this event, known as rollover, typically occurs in the early morning hours, the sun provides excellent lighting for stunning images of the orbiter as she gracefully makes her way down the road toward entry into the vast expanses of the VAB. While the media even usually concludes with the entry of the orbiter into the VAB, the STS-134 rollover event in February 2011 holds a special surprise for the assembled team after Shuttle Endeavour completes the quarter-mile journey from her hangar to the assembly building. Having witnessed the liftoff of Shuttle Discovery just 4 days before, the team has already been fortunate to see 2 orbiters up close in one trip. But their luck is only beginning to kick in. Not long after Endeavour comes to a halt, the media teams are invited to enter the VAB itself for photo and video opportunities of the orbiter as she is prepared for her lift and mate with her ET and SRBs. Working from the 5th and 16th floors of the building, it's an impressive moment for everyone on the team.
Oh man, this is beautiful. Well, it is.
With the orbiter safely in the VAB for mating to her solid rocket boosters and external fuel tank, members of the press are at times allowed inside for coverage of this event, although this is never guaranteed. But when it happens, the resulting images and videos are nothing short of awe-inspiring. It takes approximately 1 week to completely mate the orbiter to the rest of the stack and prepare the assembled vehicle for the roll to the launch pad. When this process is complete, the team returns to the Space Center for coverage of the final event involving movement of the vehicle before launch, a slow yet spectacular move known as rollout. Rollouts are typically conducted at night due to the calmer wind conditions and lower chances of storms cropping up around a vulnerable vehicle in the middle of an open space. During the move, the press gather at the press area to the south of the crawlerway for far-off observation and documentation. Occasionally, the press are given the option to be transported by bus to the road paralleling the crawlerway, where they can set up camera equipment for up-close documentation right along the path of the vehicle as the assembled stack rolls at about 1 mile per hour. If circumstances permit, the press may also venture out into the crawlerway itself for more unique vantage points and imagery. As the shuttle makes her way to the launch pad 3 miles away, the media return to the main press area to await the arrival of the stack at the pad surface. At this time, they are bussed to the pad perimeter for photo and video opportunities of the stack, which now sits atop the pad surface to undergo final preparations for liftoff. Upon arrival at the launch complex, the massive rotating service structure, or RSS, encloses the orbiter for weather protection and payload installation work. Barring an issue that necessitates a rollback of the stack to the confines of the VAB, this is the final time the media will see the orbiter until the eve of liftoff, now just a few short weeks away. More recent rollout events have seen NASA's Public Affairs Office taking the media inside the Vehicle Assembly Building for up-close documentation of the vehicle as the stack begins the trek down the crawlerway to the launch pad. Working from the facility's ground level, as well as the 5th and 16th floors of the building, the press team is afforded a stunning view of the space shuttle from above and below. While post-rollout documentation events typically see the media stationed on photo mounds around the launch pad, the rollout of Endeavour for the STS-134 mission saw the press teams in a unique scenario in March 2011. After being given a few simple instructions about where they could and couldn't go, members of the press were given near unrestricted access to the launch pad facilities for photos. Larry Sullivan was on hand for the event and was able to capture stunning images of Endeavour from locations ranging from the surface of the mobile launch platform to the top of the towering fixed service structure. The unprecedented experience marked the closest encounter anyone on the team had with the Space Shuttle stack. As the launch of a mission draws near, a crucial gathering point for the media is the historic Launch Pad 39A, located just 3 miles east of the VAB and KSC press area. Pad 39A was the launch site of the first mission to land on the moon, Apollo 11, and is now the sole host of NASA's Space Shuttle fleet in the twilight of its operational lifetime. As the weeks and days tick down to launch, the media will become more and more involved with this site. From a rollout of the shuttle stack to interviews of the flight crew just weeks ahead of their mission to the revealing of the vehicle on the eve of liftoff, Pad 39A is a place where members of the press are afforded the rare opportunity to be a part of the mission experience. With the shuttle stack sitting atop the launch pad, the mission crew assembles at KSC for a countdown exercise known as the Terminal Countdown Demonstration Test, or TCDT. During this 3-day training session, the media are allowed into the center to interview the astronauts at various facilities around the Space Center, including the launch pad. For this special event, the media are brought inside the pad perimeter fence and stationed north of the flame trench and pad surface. Here, they will be briefed by the crew on the status of the training and will be given chances to ask questions of the astronauts prior to photo and video opportunities of the crew, vehicle, and launch pad. Once a mission has launched, there is little for the press to see and do around the Space Center, as there are no media activities planned during the flight of the orbiter. It is not until landing day that the media will reassemble at KSC for documentation work. On that day, the media is transported to the shuttle landing facility to see the orbiter return from her mission. The SLF serves as both an ending point for one mission and the starting point for another. Once an orbiter has concluded her mission here, be it by landing directly from orbit or returning on the back of the 747 shuttle carrier aircraft, she is towed back to her OPF bay for post-flight processing. Even though the various mission milestones are not always visible to the media and the public, the work of thousands is never finished. Just as one mission ends here at the SLF, another begins, as another payload for a downstream mission soon arrives to begin the process all over again.